Black Panther and the Illuminati set review coming right up. Mr. Clicks Flicks is brought to you by Lucky Dice Cafe out of Huntsville, Alabama, home of the ROC. No matter if you're in the United States or around the world, Lucky Dice Cafe has the winning roll for all your gaming needs. You can visit them at LuckyDiceCafe.com or on their Facebook page using the link found in the description of this video. Mr. Clicks Flicks is also brought to you by TrollandToad.com, one of the largest online gaming retailers. Use the promo code Mr. Clicks Flicks for 5% off your Heroclix order today. Alright guys, so like I talked about, we are going to be taking a look at Black Panther and the Illuminati as a set. I'll be giving everything quick thumbs up, thumbs down. Maybe I'll give a reason why I don't like it, maybe I won't. So let's go ahead and head over to HC Realms and take a look at what's going on in this set. Alright, so up first we have number 001, Iron Man at 90 points. In sealed, he's great. In constructed, you can do a lot better. But overall, kind of middling. Next is Captain Marvel, the common version. I actually kind of like her. I know a lot of people tend to not to, but she's got Avengers keyword, Cosmic keyword. Yes, if you hit her once, her life is over. But if you're smart about it, a 45-point hypersonic speeder that can attack for 4 damage with a light object is nothing to sneeze at. So definitely a thumbs up in my book. And then she can bear the reality gem for an extra 5 points for 50 points, so she can have Perplex if you want her to have Perplex, which is really cool. Elektra, she's not terrible. 75 points gets you a charger that can shifting focus and exploit weakness, so she's pretty cool. I like this one, and I like anything but the rare one, really. Then we have Dormelage, and sadly, not my favorite. If it had charge up front, I'd probably like it a little bit more. I don't like the Wakanda Forever just because I don't like anything that triggers on KO that's not dealing a lot of damage. Like Call the Obsidian isn't a bad one because it can potentially deal a lot of damage. This doesn't really do anything too much. Most of the Wakanda figures, sadly, not my favorite in this set. Aim Red is the next one, and anything with aim in its name is a get in this set. Avengers is a really strong keyword, Soldier is a strong keyword, aim and Hydra aren't bad, and at the beginning of the game you choose Empower or Enhancement, and if you're on a name theme team, which Avengers is very easy to make a name theme team for, you get both. So +1 to damage basically at range or close for 21 points, and you have somebody that you can definitely shuffle those theme prob tokens onto. Win in my book. Midnight Angel, again, just not that great. Wakanda Scientists, if you're playing Wakanda theme team, Wakanda Scientists are pretty good, and they got Empower, and then affect friendly characters with the Wakanda keyword within 3 squares. Plus you have somebody to shuffle the your theme probs onto, but again, these guys could have been so much more, and they just chose not to. They could have been equally as good as the AIM agents, and they just chose not to. Then we have Nakia, who is 45 points for 1 Perplex. There's a lot better figures in this set alone for 45 points, so she's a pass for me, even with the Altar of Resurrection part. Then we have Black Panther for 45 points. He has Perplex, Police PD, isn't bad in sealed. I wouldn't really try to do too much with him, even if he is the shifting focus one. Then we have Shield Diplomat. These guys are really good. 20 points gets you to shield team ability and an 18 defense defend. That 18 defense defend is actually really good. And then he has Perplex, but only for friendlies. Then you have to Perplex up the same combat value +1 on an opposing. You don't need line of fire or anything for the opposing character, so you can just choose +1 attack on like some pog over on the other side of the field that's never going to get to you, and Perplex up your own. So this is a really strong figure, definitely something I like. Lots of stat modifications for only a 20-point figure. Next we have Ant-Man. This guy's kind of neat for 30 points. He shifts sides, ignores characters, and then you can give an adjacent friendly character the tiny size, which can be kind of cool. And then he has permanent shape change, which is just pretty neat also. For 30 points, I don't mind him. There's certain scenarios where I could see why you'd really want to do tiny size, and if nothing else, Avengers, he gives you somebody to push your probs onto that can also give you tiny size. So that's kind of neat. Next up is Crystal. She's really good in sealed, not bad in constructed. I wish she had an 11 attack, but I feel like they'd make her more points. She's got Quake is free, so you can basically with her move 11 squares all on her own and then Quake for free at the end, or carry her with Lockjaw for 13 or something like that and Quake. It's just ridiculous. She's really good. All the Inhumans in this set are basically good, so really excited to have her in this set. Black Widow 13A. She has Perplex and dual target in cap, which is pretty cool. Some pretty strong keywords with Avengers and Cosmic, and then she can also bear the Space Gem to carry people. If you figured for 40 points and she had Passenger, I think it gives 2 the Space Gem. Could be cool, but there's a better Avengers Taxi that's actually in this set, so I'm going to have to give her just ultimately a thumbs down. Then we have Black Widow 13B, and this one is legit. She can she has poison to start off with, and then choose an adjacent character and a standard defensive power. Until your next turn, character can't use that defensive power. This isn't an outwit or anything like that, so you can take away Pyrocosmic characters' defenses and just kind of get rid of them. So cool. Then we have the Hulk. He's really good in sealed. For some people, for me, he's not. But he's got 12 attack for 5 damage with charge and outwit. Those rage tokens really hurt you. So I tend to just pass on them in mine, but other people seem to have a lot of success. So thumbs down for me, but like I said, other people like them. Yellow Jacket I like. You get outwit or perplex, and then you also have leadership to start off with, and then dual target in cap when you don't have that. Definitely something I like and I'm a fan of. It has charge and super strength on that first and last click, so you're able to deal 5 damage with a heavy object if you wanted to for 55 points. I like him, and he's got Avengers, Defenders, Illuminati, Scientist, Initiative keywords, so some pretty decent keywords in there. Next we have Winter Soldier. Again, 45 points gets you an 11 attack, even if an opponent can mind control him. I feel like that's pretty cool. Soldier is probably his strongest keyword, though. That's what's really holding him back. Next up, we have Voyager. This is one of the MVPs of the set. I'd say try to get at least 2 of these. She's 50 points, has the Power Cosmic Team ability, Avengers, and Cosmic keywords. She has that I Sense a Greater Challenge, so if your opponent has an additional game element, she gets to go on click 0, where she starts with basically Outwit instead of Perplex. And then she has Passenger 1, Passenger 3, but only to carry characters with a shared keyword with her. She may carry characters with a flight or giant sized symbols. So really cool there. That's something a lot of characters can't do. And then she has telekinesis, but only to place characters. When Voyager uses it, neither she nor the target square need line of fire to the destination square. So that is extremely powerful. So basically you can carry somebody, we'll just say you're carrying 3 characters, so you can carry 11, and then next turn TK that person out another 6 squares and just wreak havoc. Definitely one of the best figures in this set. Then we have Iron Man. For 50 points, basically you're getting an outwit taxi. He can make more copies of himself, but I'm just not really I'm not going to lie, I'm not a fan of this figure. Then we have Captain Marvel. For 100 points, I'm not paying 100 points for a 10 attack. Elektra. This Elektra is not bad when you use her with the other shifting focus one, the common one that we already talked about. That one is close combat oriented. This one is range combat oriented, and they just work really well together. AO has leadership for 30 points and Wakanda Forever. If you're desperate for a leadership role, she's not terrible, but again, I probably wouldn't do too much with her. And then at 20 points, she can have the same thing. Then we have AIM White Squad. I think this is one of the best figures in the set. They have the same thing as AIM Red, where if they're on a name theme team, they get both, and their both is Outwit and Perplex. And if you push them to click 2, you also get Defend and Support, and you can shuffle your theme probs onto them. This is crazy for 30 points. You're getting 4 of the best powers in the game with Outwit, Perplex, Probability Control via theme team prob, and Support. all-in-one figure. These guys are nuts. Acquire as many as possible. Then we have Anika. She's just bad. I'm sorry. Shuri is, again, 2 clicks of basically taxi. And then, you know, she is harder to get after that, but no reducers or anything. This is a hard pass for 60 points for me. Then we have Malice. For 50 points, she gets only characters with the Wakanda keyword. If she's attacking them, she gets +2 attack. If you think you're going to be facing a lot of those, she's good to go. She has poison. She has Blades, Claws, Fangs. But again, better figures for the points in this set. But this is one of the least bad Wakanda figures in this set. Then we have White Tiger, who has Running Shot and Stealth. And Police Team ability. This one's not bad. But again, not my favorite. Next, we have Everett K. Ross. He has the Wakanda keyword. This is one of the best figures in the set, let alone Wakanda keyword. He also has Shield, and he has Shield team ability, and then Perplex, unique modifier. When he uses it, choose combat value +2 instead, and then at the end of your turn, you roll a d6. 1 through 4, you deal Everett K. Ross 1 click of damage. So really cool there. So you're able to, between that and the Shield team ability, you could potentially do +3 damage with it, which is really cool. For 30 points, this guy's good. Then we have Black Ant. I saw people using him in battle royales with big success, just because that 18 seemed hard to hit with the shape change, and he has indomitability. Plus, he has that rule as the world burns trait that some of these figures seem to have, where if they get a 1 or a 2 on their leadership roll, you remove a token from them. He's got stealth, and then you can choose tiny symbol until the end of your turn. Then he's got a stop click and can use pulse wave. I think he's cool and sealed. Would not design a team around him. Then we have Black Panther 29A. He has Perplex. You can give him extra points so that he can start with an Infinity Gauntlet if you want, which is pretty cool there. Quake is free, but only if Black Panther was hit your last turn. This guy's okay. I just the one that's not listed here, that is the Uncommon Prime, is just a lot better. It really overshadows him for, like, I think 10 less points, to where I don't know why they even made this guy. Then we have Medusa. She's been showing up on a lot of pauper teams for good reason, because she can free generate living hair. And for 50 points, you get an 11 attack with 3 damage with leadership and precision strike. Then you can generate your living hair after you've been carried by Lockjaw or Voyager or something like that, because she has the Avengers keyword. So very versatile there. And then attack with the 11 attack hair that's been not carried and can still attack. So really cool there. Definitely one of the best figures in the set. Then we have Thor. This guy's really a hoss and sealed. Just really tough to get around. Has that 11 attack with energy explosion. 4 damage enhancement seems kind of silly on him, but if you're able to get some other decent attackers that maybe have low damage on your team, this is the guy to have. And then once per game, you can make a damage dealt by an attack penetrating, which is really cool there. So I'd try to get one. Not the best Thor, but not a bad Thor. Then we have Eitri, avoid in sealed, but in constructed, this guy's good. Basically, you choose 3 game elements that are 10 points or less, 3 objects, and then your opponent chooses one that you can't use, and then you choose between the other 2, and you put it in your starting area for somebody like the Collector or somebody else to pick up first turn, which is really cool. And then he has this thing where free roll a d6, 4 through 6, heal adjacent friendly character with the armor or robot or vehicle keyword 1 click, which is pretty cool. 35 points, depending on the team, he could really be worth it. Then we have Possessor. Some people have been talking about him because he has his outwit, where opposing characters can't use protected outwit if you use it on them. So it's sort of like a poor man's Chase Thanos. I think there's better figures that do basically that same thing in this set, although this is a low rarity, easy to get one. I just don't like that he has sidestep on that first click. You're not guaranteed to get to click 0 where he has that running shot, but I mean, if you're playing constructed, you'll probably end up getting there. But he's got penetrating psychic blast, And then after resolutions, you can heal one click or hand on an action token to the hit character. So pretty cool there. And then you can also give him an Infinity Gem. Proxima Midnight's really good for 100 points. She's got Call the Obsidian, so if you KO her, they take whatever damage they dealt to her to KO her, which is really cool. And then she's got Penetrating Psychic Blast, hit characters, gain immobile until your next turn. And she's got Running Shot. She's just good the whole way around. There's no getting around it. Cosmic's a good keyword. Not as good as the old Proxima Midnight, but definitely a really good one. Rescue, I don't like at all, even though she rocked me one time. Dr. Minerva, I don't like for 75 points. Maybe on a Kree theme team if you wanted to give them some kind of special power, but you're not guaranteed what powers you're getting, so I just don't like her. Then we have Rare Electra, which is just terrible to see in a booster. Then we have Okoye, who generates the War Rhinos. That's really all she's good for. I mean, for 65 points, she gets you, let's be fair here. She's got an 11 attack for 3 damage with leadership, and then you can double power action to bring in the War Rhinos, which are actually pretty good, and have Passenger 1. So I would at least try to get one of her. She's worth having. One of the better Wakanda keyworded figures. Then we have AIM Blue Agent. These guys seem really hard to pull. It seems like there's like one per case, which is really funny for a rare, but and that's if you get one. Again, this one starts off with probability control, and it has traded leadership. And then if it's part of a name theme team friendly characters with the AIM keyword, consider other friendly characters within 3 squares in line of fire to be adjacent when using enhancement, empower, leadership, and support. So it just makes AIM white off the chains if you're running this guy. So definitely worth having him for that. Enigma, some people like, I don't care for. Falcon, 41A and B, both worth having, both phenomenal. Get both if you can. Black Bolt is really good. He has that penetrating psychic blast and deals everybody that he could draw a line of fire to his printed damage value. I mean, there's no getting around that. Has a printed 12 attack, and since you probably pulled him and got the reality gem, he's swinging with a 13. And then as he takes damage, he slumps to a 10, but then goes back up to a 12 attack pulse wave for 5 damage. So if your opponent's not able to KO him, you can definitely deliver the hurt next round. Then we have Captain America. I would get him. I would also get this Namor. I think he's pretty good too, as far as Namors go. Then we have Spider-Man. This guy's really good. I like running him at 85. A lot of people run him at 145 too. This is one of the better Spider-Mans in modern age right now. So definitely try to hunt one of these down if you can. Really good. Has the Avengers keyword, Scientist, Stark Industries, like some really good keywords for him. Next up is Enchantress. For 135 points, like she does some really cool stuff. Like she can basically get 3 potentially of the strongest support powers in the game. But if you don't do that and she gets popped, you're swinging a 10 attack with nearly half your build. So I would say if you pull her, keep her, but I wouldn't actively try to hunt this one down. Next is Titania. I don't care for her at all. That 17 defense for a 30-year build just won't cut it with me. She does have that special, basically anti-leadership, where if your opponent misses with a 1 or 2 and gets, then she can remove a token. She's got Masters of Evil team ability, but you don't even want to push her because she just drops off for 95 points. She drops to a 9 attack, which no, sorry, that's a no. Astronomer is one of the better figures in the set, 75 points. Has a massive 11 range, single target, pyrocosmic, and has that special TK where you can use it power telekinesis up no cost up to 2 times. So a lot of people want him for that. Has improved targeting, ignores elevated and hindering, and he has probability control. For 75 points, this guy's pretty solid. All you have to do is just figure out a way to get him around the board, and he's actually a decent secondary attacker plus a good support figure. Next up is Gardner. This is a fun figure for 45 points, but I don't think ultimately a great figure to use. He's just slow to get around, and generating those the free hindering terrain is cool, but ultimately not the great. This is probably the weakest of the Elders of the Universe. Then we have Trader, who doesn't seem that good until you look at people, doing really well with him at or at Nationals. So depending on what items you're trading back and forth, this guy is worth it. For 45 points, he brings you Perplexed. And then free, choose an equipped character, friendly or opposing, within 3 squares of line of fire. If Trader is equipped with both equipped... Man, sorry about that. If Trader is equipped with both equipments, have equipped, any of those equipments are now equipped to the other character. So really cool there. You can trade equipments. Trader, go figure. Then we have Corvus Glaive. For 90 points, he's not bad. I like his wife a lot better, but he's pretty good. And I saw somebody post something about using an indestructible object with him, so you could basically free regen indefinitely, which is definitely really cool there. So try to hunt one of these guys down. Iron Man is probably the weakest of the gem bearers in my opinion, but he isn't bad. So for 150 points, you get the space gem with him. But for 145 points, just on his face, he's got running shot. With an 11 movement, 7 range dual target, 11 attack, 18 defense, impervious, indom, and outwit. It seems like a lot of points to just get outwitted and blasted through. But he does do some cool stuff depending on what gem you have attached to him. Then we have Doctor Strange. Everybody wants him basically just for the soul gem, but I do think he's not bad. 120 points. He gets you Perplexed, and then if you use it on friendly, you get a damage power they have. And then you can heal adjacent friendly characters with the soul gem on top of what you're already doing. So that's cool. Then we have Baron Mordo. I'd like him better if he could, reduce or do a little bit better job of not getting hit. Like if he had a special that gave him prob and shape change, I'd be a bigger fan. But as it sits right now, I probably wouldn't. And that hurts because I really like this figure too. But I wouldn't try to hunt one down too much. Loki, a lot of people like. I don't. I think the Mind Gem's one of the weaker gems, and I just don't care for this figure. But you guys go ahead and put in the comments below how you feel about him. I do know he has traded shape change and stealth and stuff like that. I'm just not a fan. Captain Britain is good and sealed because he's got hypersonic speed. Hypersonic's always good and sealed. Other than sealed, though, a little expensive for no range at 135, and at 90 he's so short clicked I wouldn't run him for that either. Then we've got Kang the Conqueror. I like him a lot. I used him in sealed. Definitely would try to hunt one of these down. I think if somebody can crack the code on using this guy, he could be meta just because he can basically auto break away with his time portals, which is really cool. Rune is a thumbs down for me. I just don't like the wild dials. So here we have Lockjaw. Lockjaw is just true to form, where he is a hyper taxi, passenger 4, phasing teleport. Can carry characters with the wing symbol. No keyword restriction for doing that. And then when Lockjaw carries one or more characters and they don't all share a keyword with Lockjaw, after resolutions, deal him 1 unavoidable damage. But he has 6 clicks for 40 points, so not too likely to get there right away. And then he has a stop click on his last click, and then you can move everybody 5 squares after you do that. So just a really solid figure. Next up is Maximus. People in general aren't really going to like it, but I like this figure, but generally people are going to give it a thumbs down. Taskmaster I really like for 100 points. Basically pick 2 of some of the very best powers in the game and you get it, and then he doesn't break theme team. Definitely try to get one of these guys. He's really good. Challenger, I think, is going to be the heavy hitter of the Don't Die teams. I could see people trying to run him with like a Mudman and maybe some like a Daredevil or something like that that's just not going to die. Or him with a Lockjaw or something like that. Something that's just never, ever going to die. And just, going to town and double daring people to try to get you before time runs out. I'd like to see somebody build a team with that. That could be interesting. Next is Champion. Again, we're up at around 100 points. 100 points if you include his trait. for no range, and that is a no bueno for me. But if you can't get in there and whack somebody, you're whacking them for probably... let me see here. If you're carrying a heavy object and you have the power gem, that means you're hitting them for 7, which is just silly. But ultimately, I'd pass on this guy. Next, we have the Collector, one of the best figures in the set, just because he starts with one of the best gems, which is Reality, so he gets Perplex and +1 range. And then, depending on what else you're running him with, he can get a bunch of other things, steal things from your opponent, and Cosmic's just a strong keyword. Definitely try to get one of these guys. Then we have Grandmaster. This is a hard pass. This guy's probably worse than Gardner. Then we have the Runner. This guy's pretty fun. For 65 points, he's got Flight and Hypersonic, and with a good chance of +1 attack or +1 damage. So definitely a cool figure with Power Cosmic and a flight ability. Next we have Ebony Bar, one of the best figures in the set. Pretty much universally. He has Outwit, he's got TK where he can deal extra damage and gets extra attack. Does poison, does mind control. Poisons people that he did mind control. They're still like within a certain range. Crazy. So really good there. Then we've got Chase Red Skull, good and sealed. Not so good after that. His Cosmic Cube is good because you want to use that with Kobik, who's the next Chase, so that you can switch between games depending on which Cosmic Cube you're getting. So Kobik's definitely something to try to get for 100 points. You can switch out team abilities. You can prod Perplex, and then you can take away team abilities. Just basically all kinds of shenanigans with her. Cosmic is a good keyword. Shield isn't bad. Definitely try to hunt one of these down. Then we have Iron Man. This is probably not one of the better chases in my opinion, although he does come with a Pick a Power Infinity Gauntlet, so if you see him, I'd at least try to save that piece of equipment. But 135 points, as bad as I talked about the super rare one, the super rare one is way better than this guy. Then there's Captain America, the chase figure. The more I look at this guy, the more I actually like him when you stop and think that he has Power Cosmic from his Infinity Gauntlet and has protected all kinds of other things. So I try to get this guy. I'm going to give him a thumbs up. Black Panther is a hard thumbs up. 85 points, has Hypersonic with 12 attack, Avengers keyword, just really solid. A little tough to get around with that Battle Fury, but can be done. Starbrand, I'm not even going to click on. He's terrible. And then Thanos is, if you can get him, get him. He just does so much. He can take away Power Cosmic team abilities via his Perplex special. He's got a bystander that he can generate that gives him +2 that can give anybody +2 Perplex, and it has a 10 attack Psychic Blast all on its own. And then he's got a Precision Strike special where he can KO a bunch of figures. So definitely try to hunt this guy down. And then after that is just the equipment. So, alright guys, that is my set review. Let me know some of your favorite figures from the set. Always enjoy reading that stuff. That's all I have for you guys today. As always, please remember the Zone Critical Myths if you don't have probability control.